Hi, good morning, guys. Happy semester. Happy new semester at NAVMO. How are you doing this morning? Like even better with those cinnamon rolls? How delicious are they? I hope you've tried them yet. If not, ditch the eggs quickly and go right to the cinnamon rolls. It's amazing. So as we say happy new semester, I did hear Nicole and Lindsay find out who was returning, who was new. I know we've got some new moms in the house, and I'm so thrilled to have you here. Welcome. And really, I just want to say to you, I believe, and you can tell me later that I'm right, is that this will be your favorite day of the week, that Friday will be your favorite day of the week, that with every single topic, every single speaker, it doesn't matter like trying to pick and choose, just do the course, do the semester, be here each week. Your kids will be blessed in Kids Bible Club. They'll be fine. My 4 daughters grew up in Kids Bible Club here at Compass for 15 years, and then they worked Kids Bible Club. And we were here 3 days a week, and they were in Kids Bible Club 3 days a week, and they turned out just fine, okay? So it's all right, mommies. You enjoy, you're investing in your family from being here for sure. So I know that Nicole mentioned the Christmas coffee. How many of you were at the Christmas coffee? Okay, a good number of you. Okay, fantastic. And have any of you ever heard me do the etiquette talk at all here? Okay, so we're going to throw that out the window today, okay? This is not about etiquette. We're just going to have some silly fun, and it may be in complete contrast to etiquette, but that's okay. So we're family. We know each other if we've been at the Christmas coffee together, and I can relax a little bit and just enjoy our time together. And today's going to be formatted just a little bit different, and you'll see that as we go. It's not me just talking at you, though I'll do plenty of that. It is we're engaging with each other. So I'm really looking for that interactive audience, so I would really appreciate that. You don't have to raise your hands. You can just blurt things out, and it'll be great, and that will be fun because we're just going for that spontaneity. So when we talk about Happy New Semester, we also all month have been saying Happy New Year. And this is our last couple of days, so Happy New Year. And when I was talking about the semester, really there's New Year's resolutions. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm a complete failure at New Year's resolutions. Is anyone good at New Year's resolutions? Because by now, I'm bad and I'm feeling guilty and I did it wrong again. I'm just like, oh my goodness, forget New Year's resolutions. I'd like you to think today about New Year's revelations. So when you have your handout in front of you as we talk today, and all semester long, I'd like you just to take 1 or 2 ideas, 1 or 2 pearls that you could use as a new micro habit that's this new revelation that you hadn't thought of before, and start implementing that into your motherhood journey so you don't feel the pressure each week of everything. You don't need to implement all 30 minutes of every person's talking, everything. Just ditch that. But just 1 or 2 little new micro habits that you can take to implement into your motherhood. I would suggest if you don't have a journal at home, even a spiral notebook like from Walmart or Target, that you accumulate your notes in a place for the semester so you can look back and kind of highlight and star. You'll have this together. We do have a Compass bookstore that is open. I think it may be open today, and they have journals as well that you can get. Everything is under Amazon prices. It's not for profit. So if you want to get something like that, that could help you with your micro habits or your New Year's revelations. So given that, we're going to go into our topic today, and our topic is a 3-letter word. What is that? Fun. Yes, good job, you guys. Yesterday I had one fun person repeat it to me, and so I was lonely. But now I'm already feeling optimistic. So that's fantastic. It is fun. And with the handout I mentioned that you have in front of you, we're going to kick it right into gear, and we're going to start by filling in the first 4 blanks. Because if you're like me, always waiting for the outline and the topic, like I'm just waiting to listen for the point, we're just going to hit that hard and then relax, okay? So on the first one is our first slide, and that is the benefits of fun. So I learned these benefits of fun not in my family initially, but I have been able to live it out. I've learned the benefits of fun from my job as a leadership coach. So I've helped organizations for years be able to attract and retain talent by infusing their culture in ways to attract and retain talent. And one of those ways is by having fun, because what we know is when people are working and having fun together, these things occur. The first one is improves communication. So fun improves communication. Anyone need a little communication improved within your home? Yeah, both hands. Me too. Okay, so we'll always have that, and we'll take whatever benefits we can. So the second one is it enhances creativity. So that's just fun in of itself, because you never know what's going to happen with creativity. And the creativity of that spontaneous, and just even at your tables, you've been put together. No one of you is going to know like all the answers, and you don't even want to think that way. You're stronger together. You're stronger together hearing each other's ideas. Same thing with your family. There's going to be like your children and your husband will think completely different than you think, and it's really cool. But God is our creator, who is the ultimate in creativity as we look at creation. He's given us all that ability to have different personalities and see things different ways. So enhancing creativity is a huge benefit of fun. The third one is it builds trust and bonding. So it's a crazy world out there, it feels lonely often. And I think our kids can often feel isolated, and there's a lot of depression and anxiety unless they're part of something bigger, unless they're part of a whole. And really with fun, it builds trust and bonding, and it's a safe place to be. You also really don't want your kids having fun everywhere else outside your house, but inside your house is a complete drag. Because it's like, it's full of nagging and, upsetness and crying. So you really want to make sure that your home, as your most important organization, is infused with fun. And the last one, number 4, is health benefits. So if the others don't get you, maybe health benefits will. So if you've ever heard of oxytocin is a hormone that's created when we laugh, and it gives us a sense of well-being when you laugh together. So not only does it give you a sense of well-being, it helps moodiness. So trust me, in the teenage years, you're going to want to laugh a lot. And we don't have a NAVMO for teens yet, but I think we have a BIDE, which is close, right? You need both parents in that one. But there is that sense of oxytocin that's created. When it's created in your body, it lowers the stress hormone, the cortisol that gets, stressful. So I don't know of a mother on this planet that's not necessarily stressed. Motherhood is stressful. Even with my daughters 20 to 28, it never ends, you guys. And the joy never ends either, right? For sure. But we just need to manage that stress level and that cortisol, which that oxytocin helps. My favorite part about oxytocin, though, I learned this time because I haven't taught this for 4 years here at NAVMO. I think it was 2019. But my favorite part is it gives new brain cells, which is exciting. And it also increases memory. Yes, oxytocin. Okay, so we are part of that fan club with oxytocin. So those things are great benefits of having fun. And really, I think that with these benefits, the goal in motherhood is this. I think oftentimes we operate as thermometers in our home. When I say a thermometer, it tells the heat, right? So whether there's anger or frustration or like whatever, or joy, it's on the thermometer and it tells the temperature. I'd really love you guys to implement fun into motherhood by being more of a thermostat. So what happens with a thermostat that's a little bit different than a thermometer telling the heat? You can adjust it, right? You can cool it down. And we often need to do that in our homes. We need to cool it down, right? Have a timeout and a dance party as a result of a stressful moment when you just can't believe it, what's going on. There's no manual that's going to set you up for this, but I will guarantee you these Friday conversations are going to help a lot. So really, with that, my motherhood journey was all about thermometer. There's no doubt. So let's look at the next slide and I'll show you a picture, and I want you guys to participate in this. So these are two types of moms, okay? We've got the type A mom on one side, and type A mom, though I was joyful. God gave me natural joy, but I wanted everything just right, like perfect by the book, and had my to-do list and all those things. So the type A mom was more what I could relate to, and that kind of perfection was difficult. So the temperature got high very easily, right? So how many of you can relate more to that type A mom? Raise your hand with confessions with me. Fantastic. Okay, thank you. We can be rehabilitated together. So that's going to be good. So I'm here to live that testimony for you right there. And the other side is really the really fun mom, right? And that mom is just, there's no order and things aren't getting done. But hey, we had a marshmallow fight today and it was great. And by the way, I've watched 50 episodes of Ellen. I don't know. I don't think Ellen's even on. I'm not even sure. But my point is that a little too fun. Right? So how many of you relate to more, I'm not the order to-do list type, but I do enjoy fun. I need to tighten it up. Thank you guys. Perfect for your confessions. You can share with us some of those things and see, we're going to balance out the table. So that's great. You can easily tighten it up to make sure that work is fun, play is fun, and at the same time, order can be fun. So all of those things. So thank you for that. And again, the balance is what's most important in this whole topic, is just not being one or the other, okay? And so at this point, we're going to also look at our second fill in the blank as I tell you a little bit more about my background. And on that particular one, do you have fun, the F-U-N next? Yes. Okay, let's look at that slide. And we're going to fill in what fun has meant in our household. F for family, and I'm big on acronyms, so there you go. U for unity. And necessary is the third word. So family unity is necessary. And that's what fun stands for. It's really about that togetherness. Now, just so you know, you learned a little bit about me from being a leadership coach and a Bible study leader here for years. I'm Tuesday nights, by the way, and I'm getting to do new Christians now, which I'm very excited about. So come join us. But for those roles, that is one part of it. But from my background, my husband and I both came from divorced parents. So we didn't have anything to draw upon. So though we've been married for 35 years, we didn't have any type of culture to pull from. So I don't know if any of you are in that same situation, and or there may be single moms here. This particular fun we're talking about is fun for the whole family. It's not the enjoying motherhood and let's have fun while daddy's at work or when you have breaks from work. It's not that. It's fun for the whole family. It's about unity and making sure you're all together. So for single moms is going to make sure to include aunts and uncles and grandparents. And the more they feel a sense of belonging, the better. That's really, really critical. So with that background, after having my first child, my husband and I had been together for 7 glorious years before we had children, and that was awesome. And then we had our first, and we really idolized Shannon. And some of you know Shannon now. She's the main vocalist at Compass Tustin. It was her wedding that you guys saw up there. So, but with that, the first child just seemed easy because everything she did was just adorable. And then when we got our second child, and not that Charlotte wasn't adorable, she is adorable, yet that balance of 2 then and doubling it up, it just tipped me right into that temperature gauge. And that's when my husband called me out. Hey, babe, you know those 7 wonderful years? Like, this is going to be the rest of our life, and we need to shift something. And don't you teach at work about fun? Because this, is not. Oh, okay, good point. So, okay, we're going to like stop the complaining, stop all those things, and just add some levity and add some things into the mix so that it's not so difficult. So one of the ways we did that is the next word there, which says unity is through teamwork. So there's a T there. I don't have a slide for that, but that is unity through teamwork. So when you think of great teams that you know of, because we're about to have the Super Bowl, right? I'm so sorry, I don't know who's in it, because I'm have to get those color streamers. So, because we're already having a family party, so oh my goodness, someone tell me later, someone text me, but I bet it's online. I can ask Alexa if I say it now, though, that would be weird. Okay. I'm going to get that off my mind, and I'm going to go directly for teamwork. So teams have things in common, like sporting teams or any type of teams that you see, and they tend to be very unified, and they have fun, don't they? So what are some of the things that teams do that really connects them and helps them to have fun or to complete a goal? What are some things? They work together. Thank you so much. So there is a togetherness. Love that. What about what they wear? What they wear, the uniforms or the jerseys, really connects them, doesn't it? So no matter personality, no matter your position, we're all wearing the same jersey. So I'd like you to implement some of these ideas into your family. It's not going to be like private school and you have to dress them like that every day. I would, though, because it's so much easier with 4. I think I sent them to private school just so I could have that. Then it stopped, which was hard. But anyway, so teams have uniforms. Teams have names, right? Teams have mascots, which is fun. We did have an easy one because people tend to call us Tweety Bird. And so initially we had like little Tweety Bird shirts. In fact, my husband John was in his Tweety Bird shirt at the birth of each daughter and giving them their first bath in his little Tweety Bird shirt. So we just cleaned out his closet and I was like, is this going? He's going, no, I can't get my Tweety Bird shirt. So you can have a mascot, you can have colors, you can name yourself, you'll have plays and values. Even some teams have secret handshakes. Like whatever it is, it may seem silly and dumb, but I'll tell you what, your kids are going to connect to it. We named our family 20 years ago, and it was easy for us with the alliteration. We named us Team Tweed, and it doesn't have to be alliteration, but we were Team Tweed. So not only did we have our Tweety Bird shirts, and they didn't have to wear them every day, but on this particular cruise, we were in Alaska, and I had tucked in these matching shirts, thinking to myself, oh, I'm hoping to get a Christmas card picture, like at one point, tucked it in their suitcases. And so, but it was crazy. Like almost every day of the cruise, they ended up wearing their shirts. So I'm like, oh, that's great, because they just enjoyed that. It's not Tweed, no, it's not thing 1 through thing 6. It's Tweed 1 through Tweed 6, because we with multiples ended up like, where's number 2? I don't know. Where's number 4? We have no idea where number 4 is. So we just had those, and we now use those as PJ shirts, in our history here. And speaking of that, I mentioned Christmas a couple times, and we just finished Christmas. So whether you use the ideas you hear today at your tables from me, or you just take a couple of things from Christmas that we just had, like matching PJs, right? Why do we only do that within those 30 or 60 days between, Halloween, the dress up, through Thanksgiving, through Christmas, and we are festive and we have decorations, we have music, we have ugly Christmas sweater contests, and white elephants. So really right now, have music in your home, have festive, colorful decorations, whatever it is. Really, anything we've done within my family as we've, been on a budget and are still with 3 college tuitions, we end up doing it with this is weird, spit bubble gum and like the Dollar Tree. I think the Dollar Tree I'm going to be a representative for. Is it like branding or something? Because ultimately when this talk is done, I think I've said it like 52 times, Dollar Tree. So Dollar Tree is my jam. Those of you that know me, you know that I'm so into Dollar Tree shopping sprees. So use Christmas into your daily lives with that kind of music and things that are fun and silly, like ugly Christmas sweaters. It could be matching socks. It could be whatever. My husband has a drawer of silly socks, and when he wears it at business, it just gives him, if someone sees him and they see the, oh gosh, whether it's the USC Trojan from one family or the Bears from Baylor Bears from another college we're in, it doesn't matter what it is, but it creates conversation. So infuse those things from Christmas into your daily life. For a team perspective then, to see those things, we took it to another level, and I'm going to have you do this with me. Could you, on your worksheet on the right-hand side where there's some space, could you write your last name and stack each letter upon each other? So for example, if I was doing it on the right-hand side, I'd write T-W-E-E-D. And I just write those letters down like that. So we wanted to figure out some values for our family, beginning with the end in mind, which is kind of now of us launching our kids. We are empty nesters, so there is a completely different rule book of fun for that, but we're not going to get there today. But when you have your name done, and we're going to look at values that may help guide you, so your fun can be pointed to these values. I'm going to share what we did with ours, and I want you to look at your letters of your last name and think of even just one word for one letter, and we'll look at that. So T, we wanted thankful girls. We wanted a family that is just grateful for any and everything they have and have that sense of gratitude. So T stands for thankful for us. The W was for wise. We wanted wise and discerning girls or kids that would actually not only be academically sound, but biblically grounded and really wise and discerning. So that was the W. The first E was encouraging, because we wanted them to be encouraging to each other within our togetherness and build each other up and not tear each other down. I'd heard a lot of difficult stories about four sister families where sisters didn't get along. So we really were, okay, let's encourage each other and build each other up, and then encourage others in their life as well. And then the other E is for excellence. Whatever gifts God has given them, whatever they're going to do it with excellence. And the D finally was for devoted, to be devoted to not only the family, but to God and ultimately to their spouses, but to really just be loyal and committed people, not, flying by the wind and being tossed by the sea, if you will. So that is our acronym. I went on Personal Creations website 20 years ago and made it on a wall thing and framed it for like $20, and it's been up there for 20 years. So we can point to that when we're having fun. It may be about, what are you thankful for today? What's sweet, what's sour, in your day at family talk. Or it could be encouraging for someone to give somebody else some encouraging words about things that they've noticed in them. So the values kind of tie back to the fun for you. Does anyone have a word that resonated with them that they wrote down with their letters that they could share just one word? I won't hold you to it, but anyone have one that came to mind, Kath? Ooh, original. I like that. So in Dumont, the O stands for original, and you've crushed it. So that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah. So that's the type of thing you'll do with your acronym, that you and your husband can sit down and do that. The other thing I meant to mention about this semester was, don't just be here and take notes and have your journal, but you can go home and they take all of these teachings on YouTube. So you can sit down once the kids go to bed, and you and your husband could watch any of these YouTube this semester to be able to have them hear and see what you heard and saw. Because really, again, it is about togetherness and unity, not just you doing it on your own. So just a thought about that. So good. So we did the acronym. That's fantastic. And we just know and understand that it is for the whole family. So good one. I think the last thing we'll talk about on this page, to get our entire handout done, tell me if I'm right, is it one more blank? Yes, ladies. Okay. The final blank is that to focus on the we, not me. So turning that M upside down from this society, this, really world right now is all about me. And people are putting in their earbuds and, not talking to each other. And again, so much isolation and depression. It just breaks my heart when I look at the schools that we've been in and the families that aren't united and they don't feel the part of something. So you really, again, want your child to feel that sense of unity, togetherness, that they're part of something bigger as a whole. And that identity could look like we're sometimes known as the singing Tweeds. I'm not part of that. I am not part of that except in karaoke. So, and they did make me sing Mother's Day one time, but my 4 daughters have perfect 4-part harmony, beautiful singers, and that's amazing. So the singing Tweeds, and I guess I'm their manager in a sense that I've stayed away from that. So you could be like we're the traveling Tweeds because over time we've gone all over the world on missions trips that we've been blessed to go on, and we do like to travel. We enjoy reading, we enjoy adventure, the adventuresome Tweeds. So there may be for you guys, you're the sporty family or whatever it is, really get an identity that creates that we. So in looking back at our family, we just found 3 different groups that I wanted to share with you today, which is on the back of your handout. So, and these are words or concepts that we'll just bundle under, and we're going to do some brainstorming together on these 3 different concepts. So we're ready for the first one? The first one is a C word, and the first word is create. So could you write there, create? And really right next to that word, create traditions. Create traditions. So when you think about your family traditions, you probably get warm inside, no matter how silly it may be. For me, I think of my grandma's house. How many of you went to your grandma's house? Yes, grandma. I mean, I was so blessed to be the baby, and actually with the divorce, I was at grandma's a lot because from 7 on, so I was at grandma's. Well, I had a very fun grandma. She was just pure silly. It's just really funny. But she also was an amazing cook. So I bet you guys have some things that your grandma makes or has made that you're just like, oh. So for me, grandma, every morning that I would spend the night there, would spell out, when I woke up in the morning, she'd spell out my name or my initials in pancake batter. So I would have that hot pancake with my S or my Susan. And I just expected that. So I'm 40 years old with all my girls spending the night in Apple Valley, and I'm waking up like, Grandma, are you going to spell my name in pancake? She's like, absolutely. And I'm like, praise the Lord. So it's those type of traditions. This isn't anything like TikTok or faddish, F-A-D, right? Fad-ish. I just made a new word, is what I'm thinking, or Instagrammable, any of those things. It's just those really simple, sweet traditions that you think of. At my grandma's house, we played beauty shop, and it was a little bit different because now looking back on it, I literally am telling you guys, I think my grandma's famous because she created Crazy Hair Day. Fully, 100% she created Crazy Hair Day. She came out with this bin, and it had rollers and clips and rubber bands and, those teasing combs, like the little teasing combs and brushes. And she'd put it on the couch, and I'm thinking originally, okay, Grandma, let me have it, and she's like, oh no, me. So she would sit there, and I'd sit up on the back of the couch, and I'd be teasing her hair and putting clips in it, and she just loved the feeling of having her hair brushed. So she was actually like my human doll, my grandma. She also had feet trouble with arthritis over time, and she was just so put together, she didn't want to ever go out when her feet, she couldn't put shoes on, and at that time we didn't have things like we do now, like Crocs and, all of those shoes that are more comfortable. So again, this is so many years back, but we would go out there and go, Grandma, we're going to go to Denny's, because she just loved herself some Denny's. That was Apple Valley. You don't have a lot of choices, but that is a big deal. So she's just like, oh no, we can't go because I can't get shoes. And I go, yes, you are. Come on, Tweeds. We slip her up. We're going. And we're standing there in our slippers, and she's, oh, I could never go in my slippers, Susie. And I'm like, yes, you can, Grandma. We're going to go. And at this point, like today, slippers are just the norm, right? The norm to go out in. It's just comfy. But that was not the case. But we had Grandma slipper up. We had a slipper parade through Denny's, and we continued that tradition. And it's just something that's fun. But she was just like, oh, that is just so naughty. I can't even believe it that I went out in slippers. So really, she would be so surprised at what we look like going to the original Pancake House now. We call it Ugly Patrol. And, you get up and you go no matter where the mascara is, and pony up and put a hat on and hope you don't see any of you guys. So when we think about traditions, that is that you have or that we've had, with our family, we did traditions in places. So again, though we were the traveling Tweeds and, Japan, all those things, we just tuck it in once we had all six to two local places. And though it's dark, the picture, the darkest one on the one side at the beach is Carlsbad. So Carlsbad is our Hawaii. We tried Hawaii once with two. It was so expensive. We're like, no. John said, Carlsbad's our new Hawaii. We got a pool and we got a beach, and we're there. And we have been there for the last 15 years every summer like crazy. And the girls kind of manage our culture now. So not only did we do this for all of these years, but they take over it, which is really nice. In fact, they've elevated it a bit compared to what I was doing over time. But this Christmas, we got to go to two of their homes where they actually hosted, and they did a marvelous job of continuing traditions. So that's fun. So these two places, the beach, Carlsbad, and then the second picture in the snow is Big Bear. It's just the local mountains. So wherever you can go, even if it's your living room with a tent in the middle of it, where you can go to get away, a blanket fort, we don't care. Just no technology. We're going to put our phones down. The kids are going to put their phones down, and we're going to be together in a way that you can have hot chocolate and play games and do those marshmallow, fights, sit in front of a fire, do whatever, go outside and play. So Big Bear was that place for us. So we have a lot of different pictures in Big Bear as they were growing up, and it's just a very fond memory from them. So places are one way to create traditions that you do again and again instead of just always changing it. The other picture is a race. So I'd like you guys to create traditions according to your husband's hobbies. So yes, even fishing. Ew, we know that. Yeah, we know that unless you get some good sushi out of it. But have them hop on, and your family hop on to your husband's hobbies. My husband happens to be a runner, and though my girls aren't going to run a marathon yet, anyway, we have had them and they participate with him on the smaller ones, like the turkey trots and those things. Here at Compass, we had an after turkey trot, and my sweet son-in-law, bless his heart, Logan, jumped in with my husband, John, to be the sacrificial lamb on that one. So that was awesome. I will do that next year because they have a walk and a run, and it's after Thanksgiving, so it's when you really need it for sure. But participate in your husband's hobbies. Make sure that that's part of traditions and part of what you do. Another one of my husband's hobbies is the last picture there on the end, which is sports fan. Now, he was not raised, he's more finance and debate. He's not a sports guy, but he is the best sports fan and analyzer on the planet. And so he follows the Angels and he follows the Cal Bears. Now, of course, we have these other college teams in there, but these are his. So we have jerseys. We jersey up. We've got Cal flags. We've got Angels flags. We've got Angels jerseys. We've got the foam fingers. We will make it happen. And if we're not at the stadium doing one of those, then our family room is the stadium. We put everything else aside. We're going to watch those games in our jerseys. We've got our dollar Dollar Tree streamers going on, and we make sure that I have some prizes for those. Oh shoot, you know when football pools, right? So that all the kids are looking at the score so that at the quarters they know who wins. And I have my little basket of Dollar Tree prizes wrapped just like white elephants in tissue paper. And each quarter, whoever wins gets to come up and like open those up. It's like Chuck E. Cheese, you guys. Like adults, it's crazy. Even in the leadership boot camps I'm training executives with, like they want prizes. And if I bring out a prize basket, like of, chocolate covered coffee beans or whatever, everyone, it just turns into like they're at Chuck E. Cheese. It's crazy. It's the prizes. So I have an entire cabinet of things from the Dollar Tree that are prizes that if I have children over, I'm babysitting or whatever, and we have certain goals we're looking for, they're going to be able to participate and pick something from that. So again, I think I'm going to get a branding deal. So that's go with the sports teams, whether you're sporty or not, doesn't matter. I'm always looking at the commercials and interested in the marketing strategies. Like it doesn't matter what, but you're there, you're present, you've jerseyed up, and you're part of it, and you're together. The next picture here under Create, I believe, Diego, if you'll just move that slide for me. Yes, it is Big Bear, one of our favorite places. And we were just on a family walk or a family hike and didn't plan the clothes we were going to wear or anything, but we knew we were going to get a Christmas picture out of it. And one of my daughter made us do a pop of burgundy on our hike, and she set it out for us. But we're in the woods, and somebody walked by. I'm like, okay, you guys, do a family pyramid. And so I'm like, oh, Mom. So they did the family pyramid, and this, of course, became the Christmas card. So earlier, I did Creative Memories. That was my quilt for my daughters to have, as a memory. And then just basically with quantity, I was just in above my head. So my new strategy then was Christmas cards. So for 25 years, I have the Christmas card that represents us for that year, and I have it on my coffee table. I just keep one extra, and then I made a book for each of the girls of all of them. So if anything else, they've got a little Tweed history of the Christmas card for every year. You just put 4 or 5 aside, and you're good. So that is a tradition that we have, is silly Christmas cards. Sometimes they're fancy, like the wedding ones, and sometimes they're silly. The Tweed boys we did, where we all dressed up as Newsies to surprise my husband, and he wasn't in it, but it was the Tweed boys. We've been the cast of Peter Pan. We did footy PJs before anyone would be caught in their PJs, probably 15 years ago. So that stuff is fun as Christmas cards, as traditions. So at this point, it's going to be your turn, and we really want you guys to be able to share within your tables family fun traditions that you can draw upon, like the grandma's pancakes, or maybe an idea you heard this morning so far in this area of creating traditions. And we're going to have you have a short, intense conversation. Then we're going to come back for our other 2 words. One thing that I neglected to mention was, in addition to the Christmas card book that we've got, another way to make traditions is holidays, but not the Christmas. We already do that. But like Father's Day, for example, of course we wake up and make Daddy breakfast, no matter what it's like. Doesn't matter how old they are. Let them put those touches on Daddy's breakfast. But we decided to serve it on a placemat that would represent our year. So in addition to the Creative Memories books, we have 25 Father's Day placemats. So this one is 27 years old, but we use anything we can from the year, from poetry to handprints to maybe even crafts here at Kids Bible Club that you're able to, this was the Tweed boys one that surprised him with that photo shoot. But, really at Kinko's 25 years ago, it was $3 to laminate this, and it's all just cut and pasted there at Kinko's. Now it's $7, I think, to do that. And you could certainly absolutely do it digitally, but the kids would all add artwork. I'd interview them, ask them things about Daddy, and then that would just be preserved. So now with 25 of them, we kind of put them up at Father's Day, on the wall. But that and the Christmas card book, I'm good to go with Tweed history right now. So it was a relief that the year is captured in that. And then we go on the annual hike. right, for daddy. So that is another tradition. So given that, wet your whistle a little bit, we're going to leave you to your groups. 3 minutes, intense, quick conversation. Everyone participate, throw out an idea, and then when you hear the music, just circle back up here, and we'll share a little bit of those, okay? Ready to go? All right, it's your turn. Okay, you guys, dance party, right? Mrs. Sherman, I know you know the sprinkler. You taught my kids. Yes, girl. Uh-huh. Oh, and what is Hitch? Like that whole, they have all kinds of things. The Thriller, we got things going on. Okay, back up here, so I will stop dancing, though I am known for the electric slide. You can ask my girls. They were so embarrassed that I ever did that. And then at weddings now, they'll pull me up like, show the electric slide, Mom. And I'm like, oh, sure. No, I don't want to anymore. No, okay, so let's hear some sharing. Nicole, do you have a few things you can share, ideas from your table? Go ahead and stand up so we can see your beautiful face. Go for it.
Thank you. We have the first day of school. They always get ice cream afterwards.
Yes.
I love that.
That's awesome.
Breakfast in bed on your birthday, no matter what, even after you move out.
So my birthday is coming up in March, just to say. Yeah, delivery, DoorDash.
Letter, pancakes. Tuesday night, family eating out, right? Eating out no matter what restaurant on Tuesday nights.
Oh, we're looking forward to that, right, Mom?
And then pizza night Fridays with pizza, root beer, just every single Friday.
Love
Did I
it.
miss anybody?
Oh,
Tamales on Christmas. Just
yes. That's fantastic. And they will carry those together. Amazing ideas, you guys. Again, simple things, but saving those things to be treats. I'm guessing with the ice cream on first day of school, like your mom may have done that with you, and you're doing it. So it not only, it just fills you up with that legacy, but also you get to pass it on. So great, great stuff. Okay, thank you guys. And Linz, what do you have at your table?
We have a lot of stuff that revolves around Christmas, and I think that's kind of normal. We have Christmas Eve where you're breaking bread, and they actually do a Polish tradition where they do that.
Fantastic.
And then also the multiple houses for all the Christmases, like Christmas Eve with this family, Christmas with the other in-laws.
The progressive.
And all that stuff, which I think
Feast.
we can all relate to that, especially when you guys have new young kiddos.
Yeah.
Dinners, birthday dinners are always eaten out at restaurants. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Christmas in pajamas, Christmas matching pajamas, dance parties every night with their daughter. I think that's so sweet.
Love it.
Fun stuff.
Fun stuff. And what I will say is, again, take Christmas and infuse it into the rest. So once a month, do that progressive at people's houses that's planned, just like you did at Christmas, instead of just bundling it there. Same things with matching PJs, whether it was High School Musical or Ninja Turtles, whatever shirt I had for PJs, like we would bond the kids for bedtime, and then like I had an I Love Troy shirt with High School Musical. But anyway, you just those kind of T-shirts and things that are fun, and Ninja Turtle night wearing this certain color that is as you're watching the movie, but just even inject that clothes matching thing into your year, and food and all of those. So great ideas, you guys. Thank you so much. So hopefully all of you have some practical ideas under that create traditions part, I hope. Okay, so we're going to move on to number 2. The word number 2 that we kind of incorporated, and that is play. So can you write in the P word, write play, and just stick to it, play every day. So again, in Enjoying Motherhood, we talk about like floor time, get on the floor, even you type AMOMs, 30 minutes, set your alarm, and get down there and build Legos or do Play-Doh or work in a beanbox. But this is play for the whole family. So it would be, again, playing a game on the floor. For some reason, the floor takes on a whole nother something than normal, sitting up at a table. We discovered a new game recently. I'm not going to be able to say it, but it's very easy. It's for maybe 6-year-olds and up. It's like goat cheese pizza. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? It's a deck of cards. Yes, something cat, goat cheese pizza. What is the first word? Taco cat, goat cheese pizza. It's like $5 on Amazon, and you can play it, and it's just fun. It's silly fun, but it's the kind of thing to play on the floor, and it's loud, right? And so we're always looking for new games to play. We heard dancing. Dancing's a great way to incorporate play. So I'm going to just share with you a couple of ideas. I think I talked about so did I say I was going old school with show and tell? Because I have a few items to show and tell. But when we were talking about etiquette and family fun, really, these are family talk cards that I think were $7 on Amazon. And to put these in the middle of your table, no matter what your your occasion is, or just your Friday fun nights, your family nights with pizza, and then you pass these around and everyone answers a question that just makes it more intentional and more meaningful for your family time or your chat. In addition, during COVID, we kind of went crazy with these. Does anyone know what these are? They're English Christmas crackers. They're called Christmas crackers or poppers. Now you can purchase these. So at Christmas, and many of you have been to my house, you know I'm a crazy popper fan, but these would be at each place, and we'll put your name on it and put a Bible verse on the other side. So when we sit down as a family, we'll read them, or sit down as a Bible study group. But then you pop them, and inside there's a party hat. So there's a crown, like a colorful crown. There is a game, and there's a joke. So those are the things that you get. So there's Christmas. They have like birthday ones so that every child would get this as opposed to like a goodie bag. But during COVID, when we were kind of going crazy, I don't know about you guys, we collected everything like in case we needed it. And we're like, oh, we're going to keep our toilet paper rolls. So we ended up with a huge amount of toilet paper rolls, and we weren't sure what we were going to do with them. So my Sarah said, hey, Mom, let's make our own poppers. So that Easter, which I think COVID was March 2020, that Easter, she stuffed all of these with jelly beans and a Bible verse and a joke and a question and Easter grass. And she made like little bunnies and put everyone's name on it and had it at the table. And these were like our new poppers. And then all of a sudden, Thanksgiving, we're using them and putting little racing turkeys that are different colors, that the boys have a turkey race. And when I say boys, I'm talking about 20, 30, and 60-year-olds. With the wind up, but everyone like gets to open it and have their party hat. I got a bunch of party hats, again, Amazon, second brand deal, that are just the paper crowns, and got so many of them. They're different colors, and it just adds a different element to your meals, and those are crackers. Now, your homemade ones aren't going to crack. Some people go really wild and get even the crackers. You can purchase the things that make the pop, but for birthdays, for anniversaries, for anything, New Year's, and you wrap it in whatever wrapping paper you want and make it with cute bows, or like for Valentine's Day, same thing. Heart paper, little heart things, and inside would be verses about love or little heart necklace, whatever it is, but it just adds some festivity to your table. So that's a good way to make your meals playtime. For an idea there. And on this next slide, Diego, please, is the actual there we go, is the Snapchat, which is an older Snapchat filter picture of us looking like the Brady Bunch, Snapchatted. That is actually representing technology. I want you to play with your children with technology. So if you allow them to be on the Wii or the Nintendo, whatever, then play with them. So get great at Mario Kart, right? And then beat them. Right? So we want to get really good, because then they have kids over and they're like, oh, I'm not that good, but my mom is. And you're like, okay, yeah, I'll just step in. I was a championship professional Mrs. Pac-Man player back in the day. I'm so sad they don't have that anymore, but I was into it. And but now they're, whether it's Cooking Mama or whatever it is, do technology with them. My husband got himself on Be Real because our girls were doing Be Real. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but it's at any time it says when to take the picture. It's whatever you're doing, real. And it takes the picture out. So he's on that, and he gets to be with the girls on that, which is fun. Again, it's free. Do technology with the kids, and just make sure that you're a part of it as opposed to just having them do it themselves. So that's a play. The other picture looks like we were skydiving. We weren't. This is the best $10 picture ever, isn't it? Back on the other one, Diego, so sorry. So that is at the Kennedy Space Center where we're defying gravity and look like we're flying. And one way to play is to learn together, discover and learn together. So on Mother's Day, my tradition is to ask to go to a garden and a museum. So everyone has to do it because it's my day. And we go to this garden or museum and we learn together and maybe have a little picnic, but they always have things for kids there. This one was across the country at Kennedy Space Center, but to discover and learn together as a family really is a great way to bond as well. So we don't want to separate work and learning and then play. We want to really have all of them be together. Those are just a couple ideas. The next one Diego was showing was segues. This happened to be a sad day for me. It was Mother's Day. They were taking me to Balboa Park Garden, but my mom had just passed, and we were going to visit her spot there. And so my husband said, we're going to kick it up a notch and do segues. So we, the 6 Tweeds are riding through downtown San Diego into Balboa Park. And from purchasing that one time, lifetime, we get $35 segues, which is like, I can't believe it. So we really had fun that day and got to get our mind off things. I think fun helps that when you do experience those trials and that grief in life, and we've lost 4 grandparents in the last 5 years, and that's been very difficult, but it really helped to unite us so you can weather those storms of the difficulties better when you start early, to help each other, be unified. So those are some ideas of play. Let's look what else we have. Diego, let's just play this little video. Again, I don't even have to say it, but it starts with $. My daughter bought for my son-in-law some fake mustaches because he was in the fire academy. He had to shave everything, his mustache, his beard. So she bought him some fake mustaches, my youngest. And so she passed them around, and we all, in our Christmas PJs, put on the stick-on mustaches. So it's the silliness of just breaking that barrier and being fun. Whatever it is, whatever you're going to dress up or do, even with silly stick-on mustaches that Grandma got involved in too, which is great. So that is a few. We talked about creating levity and the floor and books. How about playing with books? The library is free, and we would go and get stacks and let them pick out things. But whether it's joke books, Silly Sally went to town walking backwards upside down, we collect the books that are more like tongue twisters and, again, pass a joke book around the table at dinner with jokes that were for that age and stage. So, for example, knock, knock, atch, God bless you, right? So those are just mild. Or, I always forget jokes, so it has to be really quick. Okay, I got one though. All right. What is a bear called with no teeth? Yes. A gummy bear. Yes, that's fantastic. And again, your child will be like, tell him a joke, Mom, because they'll be like, that's so dumb. And then you'll pick up kids and do something like, tell him a joke, Mom. So that's just really fun. For play, I would chaperone everything because I never was on any committee with adults. I wanted nothing to do with the adults. I fully wanted to be with the kids. I wanted to know who was naughty and who wasn't. So I was always a chaperone. So I would chaperone. But when they slept in my bedroom, like chaperone in Sacramento, right? Then I would make sure and have a little kit of fun, like the balloons that they could jump on the bed and play volleyball, balloon volleyball. So things that were a little bit naughty, but I was supervising, that were just inexpensive and fun. I would literally hide things like an Easter egg hunt in the room to be able to give them facials and nails and that kind of stuff. So again, just fun stuff. You just take a regular experience and you just elevate it a little bit with a few dollars. It's just a couple of ideas. So it's your turn to talk about play. How can you infuse and incorporate play into your normal daily schedule with Daddy to make sure that you guys together are having fun and making sure that oxytocin is high and the cortisol is low? So you've got 3 minutes. We are going to hear the dance party music right after the 3 minutes, and then we'll have a quick time of sharing. All right? You are ready? Go. Okay, you guys. See how it's just fun with music alone? We just need like a 90s track playing in our house all the time. Or Kathy will tell you, have a more original one than that. Okay, back up here. We're in the home stretch. Let's hear from a few of your tables. Taryn, did you have some ideas that, and we can cut that, DJ Diego. Thank you so much. Perfect. Okay, he's having fun too. Okay, Taryn, share a couple of ideas that you got from your table.
Okay, our table shared doing a campfire in the backyard, baking with your kids, letting them sit on the kitchen counter and bake with them. Melissa shared her dad used to read Curious George books, but he would change the name of George. And like the man in the yellow hat, he would change it to like the man in the green hat. And it was just so silly. And changing the names of books can be fun. The book with no pictures is a silly book. That's great. And cooking dinner together, doing video game nights.
Love that. Great ideas, you guys. And yeah, we had the step stools in the kitchen, like for the different heights and sizes, just to make sure they could be right there. Went from their party kitchen right into the kitchen. Let's train them up. So great ideas. I don't know that book with no pictures, so I'm going to put that on my list to purchase that. So thanks, you guys. I love that. And Abby or Susan Joyelle, yes, please.
Okay, so we have quite a list here. One of them is, you're talking about doing things on the floor, so having a picnic, any kind of occasion, whether it's a full meal or just something fun like that. Building a fort, and then also we were talking about how anything that you do that they can play, like train tracks or something like that, just make it bigger and better so it's covering more space in the room. Or
Love it.
also, there's a game that I was talking about. What's it called? Huckle Buckle Beanstalk.
Oh.
And it's some game that you hide objects, whatever it is, and then people go around and try and find it. And if they see it, they can shout out Huckle Buckle Beanstalk, something like that.
This
but
is
no
like
one.
cat, goat, cheese. We have to have better memories. We need more oxytocin. Yeah.
So it's kind of a game where you're looking for, you see it, but no one else knows you've seen it, and you shout it out, and then you try and, other people walk by in the house, and they're seeing whatever the object is. So that's many things
like
that are hid,
not a
and
scavenger
then
hunt, like I Spy.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah,
I
kind of
love
like that.
idea.
And then for the younger kids, maybe just getting the dads involved in like the Play-Doh or Orbeez or, water play or anything like that. And then,
Love it.
of course, adding for your dance parties, adding like maybe a disco ball or some sort of lights or something to change that up.
Yes, that's great. Good job, you guys. Thank you for those ideas. So you guys should have some practical ideas down in play. Again, even one as a little micro habit that you'll take. I know yesterday, that same table, there was someone that was really into Nerf wars and making sure that daddy and kids and mom were all like even armored up for Nerf wars. And guess who got hit the most? Mom, of course. Yes. So any of that play, and especially when it's physical, is really, really fun. And just taking that moment out. Love the campfire. The fort, blanket fort we had yesterday too. But an idea I took away was they make the day that dad proposed to the mom a holiday, like a national holiday in their family, so that they encourage that within their kids and that they all celebrate that day. And they go into this blanket fort and kind of rehear the story about daddy proposing to mommy. So isn't that sweet? So I got to find out what my day was. Anyway, we're still up for blanket fort. So fun, that's play. So we've got create traditions and we've got play every day. The third and final one is celebrate everything. So celebrate everything. And with celebrate, just like the song celebration, we're probably better at this because we do holidays, so often and so well, and birthdays and those type of things. I wanted to talk to you about birthdays for a moment, though, because I just hope that we could de-escalate it a little bit in this way. I love to get the kids involved in the decorations. So they may not be as Instagrammable, but my kids would make the decorations. I think that's why one has a party business now and one is like at Disney. Like they get into that, but they would, if we had a Pooh Bear party, then they would be the puppet show. I wasn't hiring anybody. They're the puppet show. They made the decorations. So our little trampoline that was the Tigger bounce, they would have the Tigger coloring sheet and it would be all scrappy and that would be up and we'd make paper chains and those things. But the kids were responsible for the decorations instead of our like aesthetic, like kicking in, which is beautiful. But I just have to tell you, it really helps from the kids' perspective. We also, the center picture is we dressed up for parties. Of course, we dressed up like Taekwondo. This was Candace's middle Taekwondo party, and we all had gis on, and we borrowed the belts for the like kung fu look. We always had, if we did Elmo, we had Elmo. We all had Elmo shirts on, but again, low cost, but made sure that we were all in for any of those themed birthday parties. I think I've done 98 at this point. And we do weird themes, like I Love Lucy. We do whatever our child wants, and then everyone goes after it. And it's just fun to, again, unified and doing it together. The red, white, and blue picture was just 4th of July, and we don't really buy 4th of July anything. It's like, okay, run upstairs and find anything that's red, white, and blue, and come down with as much on as you can. And they're just like all disheveled and coming down, and like spirit days at school, but it's just within the family. The last one on the right was, that is a hotel lobby in New Orleans, and it was Christmas Eve night, and we went there because, again, my parents had passed, and this was a way that we were just going into a new place and not being home, just a little distraction. And so we went down to the lobby in our Christmas PJs, and I brought this banner, this Merry Christmas banner. So if you know me, I have a celebration box. So again, I'm going to suggest to you, get a celebration box to celebrate everything. And in the celebration box, you'll have tiaras, you'll have hats, you'll have necklaces, you'll have lights, you'll have paper for banners and markers, crepe paper streamers in all colors, just like I'm about to do for Super Bowl when someone tells me. And then this celebration box is different than like your Valentine's Day or Thanksgiving one, but the celebration is like, Candace had no cavities. Yay. Good. She wants to be a dentist. Perfect. So we put up a little sign. Daddy landed a new account. Hey guys, before he gets home, let's like meet him at the door, with a banner. So we're big on banners. The banner in the middle behind that looks neon is a birthday banner. From each of the girls' birth, I had a birthday banner. It's just like, happy birthday, Sarah, with her date of birth. And it appears and stalks them their entire life, right? So I have my 4 little banners, and I take them wherever it is, even like my one at Baylor. We fly to Texas, and I pull out the banner, and I left it for her roommates to hang. It's just poor Candace, but that's okay. But Shannon, my oldest, was like, Mom, her aesthetic was completely different. She's like, she gave me this birthday banner, and she wants me to use this birthday banner, which, if you know me, I use often, and I bring to, our Bible study group when people have birthdays and so forth. But we are big on banners. The visual celebration, whatever it is, celebrate a lot, celebrate often. With potty training, toilet paper streamers. There we go. Yay, guess who's potty trained, right? So really, birthday party, festive at holidays, and getting the kids to make decorations, really injecting that fun into each day. As our time comes to a close now, we're going to leave you with a question about your celebrating. But first, I just wanted to recap on these 3 points, and you don't have spaces for this, so us type A moms, we can just relax and just read these and go, okay, I got it. So the first one, 3 secrets to fun families. They create traditions together. Yay, we know that because we have some practical ideas. We also like to narrow the gap of playing, right? So that it's learning and work is play. So we're bringing all 3 of those things together. And finally, we like to celebrate the little things and have sweet surprises in any and everything. Still, the cavities, they got $1 for every time they had a dentist appointment without a cavity, which started little. But still, I have my girls like calling me, I got no cavities, Mom. It's like, you're married, honey. I know, I just want my dollar when I see you. I'm like, okay. And that's just, that's an easy price to pay. And I'm sure we'll be paying that to grandchildren someday, I hope, if I get to have that legacy as well. So it has been a joy. I'm so, so happy to see you all. What a privilege it is to kick off this semester. I just know you're going to have so much connection and learning. And again, please just take each of the micro habits. The last slide really says that, parenting is serious. It's serious business, but it can be fun. And in fact, it should be fun because that's really, these years fly by. They really fly by, and you can infuse it with fun. So thank you so much. Enjoy your question that's on the screen, and your leaders will continue to take you through, and have a wonderful weekend. It's Friday, TGIF. Okay, thanks, guys. Bye.